For the last 7 years, I've spent so much time in the gym, even my Google Maps labeled it home. And I know I'm not alone. Gym membership agreements would be more accurate as an adoption form, but I want to break the codependence and see if less is truly more. So for the next 30 days, I'm cutting my workouts in half and hoping I don't regret it.
Here is the day one starting physique, weighing in at 194.2 pounds. I'm actually pretty happy with the leanness and size that I currently have. On top of the weight, I also took some measurements of everything to see if, despite the volume, I can make some improvements.
My mind is telling me right now that in 30 days, I'm gonna look like Gollum, and instead of the ring, I'm gonna be craving protein shakes. But my years of lifting and knowledge is trying to convince me otherwise. So I'm overall pretty happy with my starting point. Hope it doesn't go anywhere, but less time in the gym. We just gotta make every second count.
It is time for the first training session of this experiment, and I am excited. So typically I train 5 days a week, 16 to 18 sets per body part. Now I'm doing 4 days a week, 6 to 8 sets per body part, which is a pretty big lifestyle change. What's next? An ear piercing and 3 TikToks a day? But seriously, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, Will, just sign up for CrossFit because you'll just know not to expect any gains. And while I hope that's not the case, I really hope, a big reason as to why I'm doing this is because I feel like I've been in this little mental funk with my training, haven't really been motivated to train. So I think by pulling back a bit, it might re-spark that love.
My overall routine is going to be a 4-day split, alternating between legs, shoulders, triceps, and chest, back, and biceps, keeping everything in the 6 to 12 rep range with exception of some muscle groups like shoulders and triceps.
One thing to keep in mind when you switch to low volume training is exercise selection matters more than ever. You have limited space in your programming for different exercises, so you have to make sure that the ones that you do give you the biggest bang for your buck. So everything that I'm doing has proven to me over years and years of training to give me the best results.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. The first set, I'm going to like 1 rep left in the tank. The second set, I'm going to failure. I'm gonna do some force reps past failure because the lower the volume, the higher intensity you need to go. So the higher the volume you go, you have to drop that intensity or else you're not gonna be able to recover from your workouts. So when you go low volume, you have to push those sets extra hard.
After the hack squats, I finished off with 4 sets of lateral raises and 3 sets of triceps.
And time. My stopwatch seeing numbers I never thought it would. 53 minutes, 22 seconds, and 27 millisecond workout, which is pretty quick considering setting up the camera and all that stuff. I'm finished, but I still have so much more I want to give. And that's a frustration I never expected to have in the gym, at least. But overall, great pump. Really happy with my sets and reps. Feel pretty sore, and that's all I can ask for.
Day 5, last workout of the week coming up, and I guess the last time this week my life has true purpose, but we got some pros and we got a con. The con is the highest my heart rate has been this entire week has not been in the gym, but it's been just looking at myself in the mirror. I have been so in my head, just thinking that I've just been disintegrating into nothing, but I feel like my muscles are hanging on like Leo in the Titanic. I know it's just all a mental game, but the pros are I feel very recovered all the time. I'm getting stronger, progressively overloading, and I'm always excited to go to the gym now. I feel like I just want to kill it rather than just get through the workout, which is a really good sign.
Current workout is on the screen. I have done my first set of incline bench already. I got 9 reps. This set, we're going to complete failure. I'm a little bit nervous because I've never done this before. So we got the safeties ready to go. I'm hoping to get around 7, then I'll crank out some partials. Oh. People in the comments would be like, Will, you still have 3 more, man. Oh, damn. Oh no, I'm good, don't worry. Yeah, it's all part of it. All good. Yeah, everyone's just so worried about me. So cute.
I was pretty fired up from my incline bench press, and then Linkin Park started to play, which just meant this workout was going to be a memorable one. In order for me to maximize my low volume training experience, I wanted to get some insight from someone who knows, let's face it, a lot more than me.
If you're going to do less work, then you need to make sure that that work is higher quality. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't do less work and train less hard and expect to maintain gains or make gains.
I normally do 18 sets per muscle group per week on average. Now I'm going down to 6 to 8. So out of those 6 to 8, how many of those do you think I should be taking to failure?
Most of them.
Okay.
You could take all of them to failure.
What's like your thought process on like what's the best rep range when training in a lower volume
I don't actually think it really changes that much. I still think like 6 to 12 is the sweet spot of where you want to be. If you have only hypertrophy goals, like if you don't care about strength, then you could just go 100% 6 to 12. But if you also want to maintain your strength or possibly even gain strength, then I'd at least make sure that at least one set is done below 5 reps.
So kind of doing like top sets and then back off sets after that?
That would be fantastic. There is some research indicating that doing a variety of different rep ranges is slightly better for muscle growth. So let's say you've got 8 sets. You could do 6 sets in the 6 to 12 rep range. You could do 1 in the 1 to 5 rep range. So that would be your heavy set. And then you could do 1 in the 15 to 20 rep range.
Okay. I think I'm going to probably do that.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's probably what I'm going to do.
There's a whole bunch of studies on volume, right? The research actually shows doing just 1 to 4 sets per muscle per week will get you about 60% of maximum potential gains. 1 set per week would be like picking up a set of dumbbells, doing a set of dumbbell curls to failure, you're done for the week, and that will get you more than half of your maximum potential gains, which is pretty amazing. They had a group of subjects take their normal training volume, reduce it down to 1/3 of what they were accustomed to doing, and they still maintained the muscle that they had built over a period of 6 months.
Wow.
But it's even better. They had another group reduce it to 1/9 of what they were doing, and they also maintained for 6 months. If you're trying to get an efficient workout for less work, then that's where the low volume training has tons of value.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That changes everything. Assuming I do everything right, what do you think is going to happen in 30 days?
Oh my God, it hurts to flex. This was definitely my favorite workout of the week so far. And honestly, I thought I was gonna get like anabolic Alzheimer's and completely forget what a pump is / looks like. But I actually think the pumps are better on lower volume, especially with the length and partials. Hey yo, rest day. Second one in a row actually. Although I haven't had a true full rest day now with Boba being home. The dude is an absolute menace. Isn't that right? Yeah, you're a psychopath, I know. Yeah. I did some calculations and I've saved a little over 4 hours this week of gym time, which is a lot. So over the course of a month, 16 hours over the course of a year, it's quite a few days. So already the gym feels like more of an accessory to my life rather than my entire life, which is super, super nice. Of course, I still have those urges to go to the gym, like asking a bodybuilder to cut down on volumes, like asking an Italian to not use both hands when they speak. It's gonna take a little bit of an adjustment period. When you hit something a lot and so consistently, then all of a sudden, it's taken away from you. You just want it even more. So I know I'm ready for a big week of training ahead. I've cut my workouts in half. Do you think Whole Foods can do the same with their prices? A $22 salad? Get out of here. I feel like a common question a lot of people probably have is, will you cut your volume? Are you cutting your calories? The answer is no. Just because I'm dropping volume does not mean the intensity is going anywhere. In fact, I would say the volume that I'm doing is a lot more intentional and a lot more intense. So if I was gonna drop my calories, I feel like that'd be doing a lot more harm than good. So if you're gonna adopt a low volume style of training, I recommend keeping your calories and your nutrition the exact same to start and then go from there. Otherwise you might just be spinning your wheels. Lunch is what I like to call the Whole Foods human centipede, a bunch of just different tossed salads mashed up into one with a kombucha on the side. I've been very loosely tracking my calories. So some meals I'll track, some meals like this one, I eyeball it. I don't take it too seriously. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not tracking at all anymore. And I just completely know intuitively what I need. So far it's been working really well. Weight has been pretty stable and I've been enjoying it, which is the most important thing. I swear no one has ever seen a camera at Whole Foods before. Or I just eat really sexy. No, I highly doubt it.
One thing that I've been really enjoying is my mentality with the 2 sets. I only have 2 opportunities per exercise. Across an entire month, only 8 sets. So why would I not make every frickin' set count? Because of that, I've been able to push harder and farther in a set that I ever have in my life. Typically, I do lateral raises in the higher rep range, like 15 to 20. For the next 30 days, I've been doing higher intensity, 8 to 12. Maybe I'll throw in a drop set on the very last set if I feel good. It feels a lot better. Honestly, like Doing the high rep laterals, you get a good burn in the moment, but in the next couple of days, it doesn't really burn, you don't really feel sore. Doing the heavier weights and really challenging yourself, the next couple of days, I'm feeling it.
Another quick workout in the books. I even think I threw my gym playlist off guard. Didn't even make it to track 12, but I felt really good today. I feel like I could have kept on lifting for a couple hours, but I gotta learn just to pull out when I'm supposed to, you know what I mean? And just trust the process. But I feel like I'm already noticing some visual changes. I definitely feel like I'm shaping up. I felt like I was holding a lot of water just from being so stressed from so much training. So I feel like tapering it back and kind of just flushing it all out and actually feeling a lot leaner.
Something concerning to note that I've noticed over the past 5 days or so, I cannot stop eating. My appetite is insane and I'm worried about it. My appetite already before this was crazy. It's just going up and I don't know what to do. A typical dinner for me lately has been this like Asian stir fry thing. So in here I have a bunch of mixed vegetables, some ground chicken, 3 whole eggs, and the thing that I've been like loving a lot lately, which I kind of just found, is this Korean style sweet potato noodles. They are like legit, really good calories, and honestly, like they digest super well and they keep me full. You get a lot of volume. Just over 600 calories for that entire bowl. It's a pretty good amount of food. Week number 1, I was like, I don't need any rest days. Like I was itching to get back into the gym. I feel like I didn't need rest. I was like ready to go. Now, I'm like thankful for the rest day. Like my muscles are super sore, believe it or not, especially my arms. I have been training my arms the most intense the past couple days than I think I ever have in my entire life. So even showering, I'm like cramping up. It's just super hard. So don't think because you're doing low volume, you don't need to rest. It catches up to you if you're doing it properly.
Day 15 at the halfway point, and I'm sure a lot of you probably thought by now I'd look like Liver King if he actually went natty, but so far, honestly, nothing but amazing things to say about this experience. It's been amazing. And if I make any improvements over the next 30 days, all I'm gonna be thinking about is how many sets and reps I have wasted in my lifetime. But it has seriously been such an eye-opening experience for me because I know a lot of people, including myself, you go away on holiday, you don't have access to a gym, you start to panic, and by day 5, you're looking at yourself in the mirror like you're Gaines or Harry Potter's dead parents, waving goodbye. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's actually a lot harder to lose muscle than we all think. And if you pull back, it's gonna be okay. Enjoy the holiday, enjoy that time off, and just have fun. Bubba, what are you doing, bro?
Over the last couple weeks, my gym schedule has been more about anticipation than obligation, with my workouts feeling like exciting highlights of the week instead of another shift at the minimal gains factory.
I finally got it. I've been chasing that PR for like over a month.
Obsession is what defines the relationship a lot of us have with the gym, but it doesn't have to be. I've discovered over the last couple weeks, nothing is more motivating than knowing I'll have time to enjoy the life I'm building all this muscle for.
Every single plateau that I had in the gym coming into this challenge, I've broken past it easily. And I'd say that this is probably the most dialed and by the book my training has been in a very long time. And I think it needs to be that way with low volume training. Progressive overload means more than ever now. You need to know the exact exercises you're doing and the exact weights that you hit every single time. You can't afford to just come in and wing it. You can't just afford to do fluff work. You can't afford to not know the weights that you're hitting. So if you just come to the gym and you don't have a program, you don't like to write your stuff down, low volume training is just probably not for you. I'm really starting to realize right now, just based off how I look well over halfway through this challenge, is that if you're taking sets close to failure or to failure and you're seeing general progression over time, you're gaining muscle. Now, obviously, if you're training super low volumes, it might not be optimal, but if you're still seeing progress from month to month, 99.999% of the population is going to be happy with that. If they can have a life outside the gym and continue to make gains, I would say that's a win for most people out there. So at the end of the day, progress is evidence of hypertrophy in most cases, regardless of the volume that you do.
Workout complete. Gonna show you guys a current physique update. Things are looking pretty good. I think my chest has come through, started to shape up a lot, and definitely my arms. Yeah, we're doing this right now in a public gym. Legs coming in. I'm starting to realize that going to the gym, it's a lot like texting a girl. The more that you put into it, you get nowhere. The second you kind of pull back and just avoid it for a bit, you start getting results.
in the midst of back-to-back rest days, which I love, so I'm pampering myself with some pancakes, protein pancakes, so not going too hard. But I love these days. Honestly, I think the only workout I get is with my wrists from being so productive on my computer. I know what you're thinking, stop it. Another thing that's really cool on these days is that it really makes you realize that beyond the gym walls lies a world of things to do. So I'm gonna do some work and then we're gonna have a beautiful rest of the day.
I crushed those pancakes so hard, and then I practiced fetch with my son Boba, which is going well. Then I took my wife to get some bubble tea because we are literally obsessed with it, hence the name of our son, Boba. The entire day I was really wanting to take a bath for some reason, so I went to Lush to try this bath bomb thing out people are talking about, and I was blown away with all the options. Like, there were so many tempting ones. If I had a bigger tub, it would look like a war zone. This pig is just so cute. I was investing more time to find the perfect bath bomb than I did finding Katie's engagement ring, but eventually I settled on deep sleep for its muscle recovery purposes.
So apparently once it gets warm and wet, it instantly explodes, which is now making me realize how that nickname got in my high school yearbook. Ooh. It's 5:30. I don't know if it's too soon to be doing a deep sleep bath bomb, but here we go. I'm just kidding. It's got nothing on a chloroform rag. I've been in the bath for all of like 2 minutes and I can already tell what all the fuss is about. It feels amazing and it smells so good. I also bought something called Bath Play-Doh, and the person basically just said, use it to pass the time, create what you wish to see in the bath with you. So just gonna use this to chill, keep my mind off of work, relax, and get ready for the last week of low volume training. Are those hot dogs or legs?
For one of my final workouts of this challenge, I'm joined by someone who's been preaching low volume for over a decade and has built an elite natural physique off minimalistic training. Kino Body.
Have you experimented ever with high volume training, or did you start your training career high volume?
I started training with these two bouncers, and we'd go to the gym 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days, and we'd be in the gym for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
We'd be doing 12 different exercises, 5 sets each. I'm not even kidding. We'd do like 60 sets. That year, I made the shittiest results of my life. When I went back to Toronto, I trained on my own. I trained 3-4 days a week, shorter workouts, a few heavy sets, and I came back to school way stronger. And they were like, what are you even doing?
I thought it was interesting when you said out there, you're like, we failed at 10, but most people would think that failing was our 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So do you really think like you have to really push the intensity to do the low volume training?
100%. Most people that didn't do competitive sports and they try lifting weights, like the 1 rep in reserve, they have like 5 reps in reserve.
What would you say to people watching this right now who are doing super high volume, not seeing any progress, frustrated, and they're kind of scared to make the change to low volume?
You have to focus on the primary metric. What is your metric? If you're making gains on that high volume and you're seeing consistent progress in weight lifted, keep doing what you're doing. But you're not. Yeah, you're not. You're gonna get stuck. You're gonna plateau. People doing high volume training, they don't maximize their strength gains with lower volume. And then guys that are doing lower volume, you have a little window where if you increase the volume, you get a lot of good fullness.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
The best my physique has ever looked,
Yeah.
and everyone always agrees, is our first collab video together.
Really?
When we trained together,
Your arms were like,
dude, I was shredded
yeah.
3 days a week.
Crazy.
That's it.
I find I get the best results when I do 10 to 12 sets total per workout, max.
Including all, like, so like,
Everything, yeah.
So how many sets per individual body part?
Anywhere from 4 to 6 per week.
What?
Yeah. I'll do 6 on the shoulders, 4 on the chest, and I find when I do less, I get stronger. I make more PRs.
Bro, what the f?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to get in.
Dude, I can't even impress that, bro.
Shit, I feel stronger.
Just finished my last workout on the 30-day challenge, and I actually had to check the weight that I put on the leg press because it just felt so easy today. It was kind of weird. I don't think I could ever go back to my old style of training with how it's gone so far, but I'm not going to speak too soon because we got to see what the final results are.
I think most likely you'll maintain your gains.
Okay.
I'll be impressed if you continue to make gains.
I'm going to try to prove you wrong in 30 days.
Now, my final results were actually pretty crazy. I gained just over 3 pounds of scale weight, and I feel like I look just as lean, if not slightly leaner. My measurements are even more insane. Even Jeff was shocked. My waist dropped an inch, and I made some major improvements everywhere, especially in my arms.
Now those results are pretty interesting, and I know with measurements there's some room for error, but nonetheless, I still feel like I made some pretty big improvements, and I think my training going forward has changed forever. I might add a few sets to some weak points, but my overall training is gonna be much lower volume. I think the big thing that I realized this month was I had so much more in the tank than I thought I did by reducing my volume. It just forced me to go extra hard to make the most of my workout. So it showed me, and hopefully it showed all of you, that you don't need to do more work. You just need to do harder and more intentional work in the gym. Less is sometimes more.
I got my balls to my butt, yeah.